Hello, everyone. This is Catherine Clement, and this is our weekly wellness Zoom. Um, I'm here in Boulder, Colorado, and we do have a a public Facebook group going for this community of people. And if you're on Facebook, we'd love for you to join us there. I will put my contact information in the comments under this video, and you'll be able to find us. So I usually start out by telling how this Zoom came about. The reason I started this Zoom was because of a friend that committed suicide due to a chronic pain condition that she had and that many of my friends have. We have like a forum of people that have this condition, and the thing that drove her to suicide was not just the pain. The pain is bad enough, but it was because of not having people to listen and to hear and to understand and to support. I mean, we supported her as best we could, of course, but I'm specifically speaking towards her healthcare providers who were not supportive, and especially insurance companies that were completely unsupportive in getting her the surgery that she needed to get out of the excruciating pain. And so I was told to start this so that people could come on if they just needed an ear and someone to listen to them, or for people to come on if they have a product or a modality or something that they do or know about that can help other people. And so I typically have guests on. Someone comes on to tell how they're helping people with wellness. And sometimes I will have to pre-record because obviously there are many practitioners who are not available at this time of the day necessarily. And for instance, next week's Tuesday Zoom, will actually be a recording being played by someone who I will get the opportunity to interview this Sunday. So a practitioner here in Boulder, I look forward to speaking with him. But today, what we're going to do, I've shared much of my experience with you as far as being a registered nurse for 20 years. If you've been on any of the other Zooms, I was a nurse for 20 years. I worked in neonatal intensive care, since an accident about 11 years ago, I've been fairly homebound, and so I work primarily from bed now online, helping people in many ways. The Wellness Zoom is one of those ways, but I like to give people a voice. I like to bring on people, for instance, the condition that I have that so many, not just one, but many have taken their lives over. It is not being taught in medical schools. And so we do art. We are art activists, some of us are, and we do petitioning and things to try to get ACOG to at least teach about these conditions in medical school, so that when we present to our physicians, they don't think that we are crazy and try to put us on antidepressants when we are literally battling for our lives with pain. So having a voice can really help someone heal. Asking for what they need, having people hear their need and be supportive of them, whether physically or emotionally or energetically supportive. There are so many ways that we can lift up each other, and that's how this came about. We've kept it primarily to physiological sort of remedies and modalities up until this point. I'm going to clear my throat just a second, please. But for anyone who has visited my website, which is livedreambelieve.me, So just http://livedreambelieve.me. You can look on there and see the different things that I do. But the thing I'm going to share with you today is energy work. Now, many of you are familiar with energy work in this day and time. More and more people are becoming aware that there's a lot going on behind the scenes that not everyone experiences. Like, we're all one, but we all have completely different experiences. And some of us have had experiences our whole life. I did touch on this a little bit, actually, when I got to speak with my good friend John Red Bear, and we spoke about this a little bit. But today I'm gonna let you experience it if you would like to. Obviously, you'll be listening to a recording, but it still works. The only thing I will caution you is that when I do this work, this is work that ever since I was a small child, I can remember about age 2 actually, going out of body, having experiences outside of the normal 5 senses, seeing spirits, having spirits or souls, whatever you want to call them, come to me as they were ready to die, and like me holding their hand, and just amazing experiences. And I would wake up my grandma and say, "Grandma, so and so's just died," and then the phone would ring. It was kind of freaky, for her, but her mom was, quote, psychic. I don't claim to be psychic. I work closely with my guides and angels, and they do give me messages. If they give me a message for people, that is not me being psychic. That's just delivering the information that I'm given. So since being a small child, I can remember having these out-of-body experiences, especially at night. And I would go for these teachings, and then during the waking hours, I would feel this God's energy moving through my body towards things that needed it, whether it be animals that were injured or plants. I've always had a really strong excuse me, connection with God and with earth, and with communing with God through earth, because it's like the same thing, that it's the living expression of God and abundance. And so I've always had a very strong connection with the earth, always been very grounded, even though some of the things that I'm speaking about right now, you might say, okay, you're not grounded at all, but I really am. And I have just had extrasensory perception since birth, basically, or at least since 2 years of age. And I'm sure there's things before that I don't remember so much. But as I grew up, as I started finding out that first of all, that not everybody experienced the things that I experience, it is very difficult to really explain these experiences to people if you haven't had them before. It's kind of like trying to explain a color to a blind person who has never seen color. How do you explain that? But I can tell you that from I remember in elementary school being extremely telepathic with certain people. It just seems that some people are more open to these things. I believe each and every one of us has the ability, and certainly we are all soul and spirit and energetic beings here in these bodies, and so we all have the ability to be channels. We are channels in effect, but we have the ability to be larger channels if we learn how to train our bodies, our thoughts, change our diets even. There are many things that go into being able to hold more energy. And depending on who your guides are, which dimensions you're working with, there's different vibrations, there's different levels of energy, different expansions. It's almost like the difference between, one of those little 10-cent squirt guns and one of those super soaker battery operated things, right? I mean, sometimes what I have found in trying to learn different modalities and in studying many modalities in this quote lifetime is that when when they're not open from childhood, when they they realize that they're spirit and they can do these things and they want to learn, so they open up and they start taking trainings. And what I typically find is that you kind of build up, the longer that you work with energy, you sort of build up, your vessel builds up, it becomes more crystalline or something, crystalline, however you want to say that, so that you can actually hold more vibration, higher frequencies, without it short-circuiting your body. And this is a very interesting thing to see how energy, I mean, we are energetic beings, and our bodies work energetically, and therefore we can make changes in our body energetically by taking certain actions. Some people may use machines like Rife machines that can actually just dial in a higher frequency, and other people choose more the meditation route, the training through meditation and learning different energetic modalities and how to work on different dimensions, different planes of time. And time is very mutable when you get in there, but it takes time to work up to these things. Some people open up and they just get it naturally and they can take the big dog stuff, but oftentimes I find that it can make some really super quick changes in people, some shifts, which some people are very accepting and grateful for, and other people it kind of scares them away, and they perceive these as things going wrong, or they don't like the change, when actually God is just moving you into a better place. So as I said, I've studied many modalities, and what I found is that the energy that I worked with as a child is the energy that I prefer, as opposed to certain modalities. I do use different techniques from different modalities. I am a master sacred activation practitioner, and that is amazing work. It's mostly working seventh plane or seventh dimension, and or actually both, but both primarily on the collective consciousness work around this planet, which many modalities are working on, actually, and we're seeing shifts and changes. So right now, if you look out at the things happening in the world, things are shaking loose now. It's getting a little bit rocky here, but that's just because some of the corruption is being brought down. And please know that there is light that will shine upon all of us, and already does. But sometimes those shifts can be a little bit uncomfortable, both on a personal level and on a global level. So just hold the light. We are light bringers, and just hold the light in the dark times, and know that it is all God. And it's interesting, I was just having a conversation with someone today, and I do work with Jesus, I work with angels, I work with different masters energetically, and he asked me if I was Christian, and I am not technically Christian, but having said that, I have had I've met Jesus personally. I don't know if I was dead during the experience. My neck was broken and I went completely out of body. I don't know if my body died and then I came back, or I'm not really sure. But all I know is I was out of body and Jesus was there and talking to me and explaining things to me and telling me about the no judgment. And God is expressing through us, um, living through us. And yes, we have free will, but what I was told is that there is no judgment. And I know that that completely goes against many people's beliefs. And I'm not trying to get you to change your beliefs. I'm just sharing my experience, personally talking with Jesus while I was out of body. So take that for what it's worth. And today I want to share some of God's energy and love with you in the form of energy work. And when I do this work, I'm very quiet. Aren't you glad? It's 222, perfect timing. I'm very quiet when I do it. If the guides or Jesus comes in and tells me to say something or share something or shows me something and tells me to express it, I will, but otherwise I will probably just be silent after I get you through just a few cleansing breaths. And since there's no one on live here with me, I would take questions or try to do some personal work with you if you do show up live. So just so you know that for future, if you see me that I'm going to do energy work, you're welcome to come on and get certain things that you have going on in your life addressed. So I love to do that for people. And this room can hold 100 people now. So please come one, come all, and we will do the best that we can. So I'd like you to just close your eyes. Please do not be driving, or do not have to drive right after listening to this. Just stop the recording and listen to it at a time when you can just relax, maybe have a blanket and some water nearby. And not have anything that you have to do right away, just in case you drift off to sleep. Sometimes as the vibration, the frequency raises, it can take people into a different brain waves and you might fall asleep, which is why we can't have you doing it while you're driving, or even if you don't fall asleep, you might not be perfectly cognizant of everything and as alert as you need to be. So please, please just thank you. Wait. Okay. So just close your eyes, just relax, get in a comfortable position, close your eyes. And let's just take 3 just gentle, long, easy breaths in through our nose and out through our nose, just very calming. If you can do it to the count of 8, that's perfect. 8 in, hold it for 8, and 8 out. If you need to do 4, do 4. Here we go. Good. And now just keep breathing in your normal way very easily. Stay relaxed. And if there's anything in your life that is troubling you, a health condition or something, disagreement with someone or blocks towards abundance or whatever it is that you would like to clear, you can put some focus towards that. You don't have to stay focused on it, but you can put some focus towards that. God knows what needs healing. And I'm just going to run this energy for whatever is perfect for each person listening to this recording, whatever healing they need in that moment, whatever blockage they need cleared, whatever cord they need cut. This experience and all throughout their entire timeline as a soul, including all dimensions, all existences backwards and forwards throughout eternity. And clearing also the collective consciousness around whatever that is as well. As we know that sometimes we display what are truly the ills of the collective, but we display them on a personal level. So whatever each person here needs, God will now take that for you. Just remember to breathe. Get some water if you need to. A lot of energy running here. It just keeps coming wave after wave. Stay open to receive your miracle. Okay, good. And now let's just take some deep breaths again. Let's do some grounding. I want you to start to pull yourself back into your body. Now just pretend that you're either a tree and your roots are going deep down into Mother Earth, or maybe you're swimming in the ocean or laying on the warm sand as the sun shines down. However you can connect to Mother Earth. Maybe you're in Mother Earth's heart chakra, just curled up and cozy. Let's get grounded now. Let's come back into our bodies. Take good deep breaths. Feel the energy in your body like tiny champagne bubbles, just popping and just like electricity all in your body. You can feel it, bringing everything to life. We are spirit in these human bodies, and sometimes our bodies can get unbalanced because we spend too much time being unbalanced. So bring yourself back into balance. Learn to use your energy not only to heal your body and to bring it into perfect health again, but also to help others, to increase your prosperity, to enrich your relationships with people, really connecting on an energetic level instead of just a physical level. Really connecting on that soul level and masterminding with people and becoming family, becoming one with all the other expressions of God here on this earth. Everything is God. Keeping in mind that it is always our perspective about a situation and never the situation itself that makes us suffer. And perception is completely subjective and is a choice typically dependent on experience and growth, spiritual growth. So just be open to the possibilities that you are so much more than what you see and feel and hear in this human experience. And learn how to tap into that larger part of yourself and utilize that energy to really become one with all the other light workers here. And let's turn the vibration up, you guys. Let's turn the frequency up. Let's dial it up and let's get some just pure Christ consciousness, unconditional love here on earth. Yes, things will crumble, but only to reveal the gifts that lie behind the corruption. The true connection with others. There's no need for competition. There's no need for anyone to be without. This is an abundant life, an abundant planet that we live on, and there's plenty for all. We just need to share our love and our wisdom and our fellowship with each other. Let your light shine as bright as it can without bursting this human vessel. Thank you so much for being here. It is such an honor to do this work and to work for God and to share this with you. Many blessings. Don't forget to drink plenty of water. Don't try to drive right away. Take a nap if you feel like you need one. And otherwise, just sit in the juiciness of the energy that you are. Great love and respect to you and all beings. And we'll talk again on next week's Zoom. Thank you so much. Namaste.